The man locked his daughter inside the car. He went to accompany his first love and her son to the shopping mall. He patiently and carefully fanned the exhausted boy with an old paper fan, attempting to keep him cool and comfortable in the stifling heat, all while his own young biological daughter suffered terribly inside. With her last bit of failing strength, she desperately dialed her father for help, but the man coldly and brusquely hung up the phone without a second thought and continued playing indifferently with his first love's son. Because her tablet battery was almost dead, the girl finally called her mother. At that time, her mother was in a meeting. She answered the call and heard her daughter crying for help. In a panic, she asked where her daughter was, but the girl fainted before she could answer and the call was cut off. The mother called back frantically, but there was no response. Everyone around was worried about the child's safety. Suddenly, the woman remembered that it was her husband who had picked up their child that day, so she immediately called him. Meanwhile, the man was still with his first love. When his first love saw the call from his wife, she deliberately ignored it. The woman grew even more anxious and immediately called her team for help. Everyone rushed out to look for the child. Running as fast as she could, she prayed for her daughter's safety. Meanwhile, her daughter weakly knocked on the car window asking for help. The mother frantically broke the window. Although her hand was injured, she immediately opened the car door, wanting to save her child who had been locked inside for 5 hours. But when she saw the girl, she was shocked. It wasn't her daughter. The next moment, she was pushed to the ground. It turned out those two were the girl's parents. They thought the woman was a thief and even planned to call the police. The mother was disappointed and heartbroken. Overcome by emotional devastation, she shouted angrily at the two careless parents. But they thought she was crazy and immediately sped off in their car. The woman sat on the ground in a daze, not knowing where her daughter was. Suddenly, her phone rang. Her assistant told her they had found her husband's car. The woman immediately ran to the parking area full of hope, searching for her child with her assistant. At that moment, her daughter, she saw a familiar figure and whispered, "Mom, I hope you finally come to save me." But the woman just walked past. Shortly after, her real mother discovered her husband's missing car hidden behind the crowded parking lot fence, bringing everyone an immediate sense of relief. Thank goodness. In deep desperation, where was her daughter?